We've all heard the old adage, manners make it a man, and today we are sitting down with Ms. Rochelle Lawrence of Pristine School of Etiquette to talk all things mannerisms right after this commercial break.
Is business slow, cash flow down, hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media@cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works.
Viewers, welcome to another exclusive. Today, as promised, we are with Ms. Rochelle Lawrence from the Pristine School of Etiquette. Welcome, Ms. Lawrence.
Thank you, Javon. It's a pleasure to be here today.
Awesome. So when we think about etiquette, the first thing that comes to me is mannerisms. And this has been one of the foundational, I would think, one of the core principles that we've seen transcend from generation to generation. For me, it's all about who we are or what we're supposed to be. But first off the top, when I look at your logo, I'm really impressed by, it says right, and right. And I don't know if my producer is going to flash it across the screen for you guys, but just get into that for me and what that means.
Well, my logo was well thought out. I think I took more time stressing on that image. When you hear the word pristine, you should automatically think in its original form, in its crisp aspect.
Yes.
And our tagline, the art of right, and right.
Yes.
So the first right is you physically writing. This is the ability to properly structure sentences, to be able to explain yourself. Then it's the right thing to do.
Right.
Whether you're doing the right thing or the wrong thing.
Right.
And as adults, we know what's right from wrong. Then the last one is right.
That's R-I-T-E.
Did I just say that 2 times?
Right.
So the last one is R-I-T-E, which is a philosophy. And it comes as a strange word to people sometimes, and I tell them, locally we have a right way.
Right.
It's a philosophy. It's you growing up understanding this is how it's been done all the time. It's something local. It's something that's the norm.
Nice. I really like it. Indeed, a lot of thought went into that. Pristine School of Etiquette. Tell me, where did that come from?
The inspiration for Pristine came ideally from my mom. I grew up in a little house in Seacoast Bay, and my mom was adamant about you learning the right way of doing things. This would be the R-I-T-E
Right.
way of doing things. And she always would tell me, no matter where you go, no matter how much money you have, no matter what you do in life, principles remain the same.
Yes.
And I would go out in the world and I would observe things just didn't happen the same way they happen at home. I would dine at restaurants and I would realize that persons aren't using their silverware properly. I would enter a room and a gentleman walks in with his hat.
Yes.
And I'm waiting for him to take it off and it never
Because that's what
comes
you're
off.
accustomed to in your culture.
Exactly.
Right.
So it ideally was inspired from my mom. And then I had a host of events throughout my career that really hit it in. I did my first table setting competition at 12 years old.
Wow.
And that's with the BVI Tourist Board. And I had a love for it since then. Later, I moved on to be a teacher's aide at a local primary school. And I had the ability to nurture young minds. And I understood there is academic and then there's social.
Yes. Social skills important.
Exactly. Then I worked in the corporate world for a trust company for about 7 years. And while working there, I was able to liaison with different offices around the world. Seychelles, Cayman, Isle of Man, Guernsey, Jersey, Mauritius. And just the interaction between them became so different, especially when you travel, not just in the writing of our emails and the time frame, but even traveling to go to those places. The etiquette was so different. The protocol of things to do was so different. I remember on a trip to China, I was so overwhelmed in trying to understand what is expected of me, especially of being a lady. Right. You know, simple things like I can't look a man directly into his face and so forth. So, and then there's my love for food and travel. I love food.
Girl, who you telling?
Absolutely love food.
I understand that language.
That's a hobby. I would go out and I would eat. And I would go out with my peers again, and then there are menu options that we can't recognize or we don't understand. So everything sort of was a boiling pot for Pristine. And out of that, I created the curriculums and the syllabus in order to cater to every single age group and those different aspects where I see myself being an expert in.
Well, that's important because my next question was like, who is your target? But you just mentioned that you touch in with the students and as well you were catering to the corporate market, adults. So that's very good. There's a workshop on Sunday, which I'm very interested in to hear all about. So let's get into that.
So our workshop on Sunday is Table Etiquette 101. It's going to be held at the Mariner Yacht Club, which is previously the Moorings Conference Room, from 10 a.m. to 11:30.
Okay.
That particular workshop is ideal for boys, girls, or adults, but specifically on Sunday, we're only going to do children ages 8 and up.
Why? Why that age?
For a few reasons. First, table etiquette. Persons think that, well, I just need to learn to, why would I need to learn to set a table? It's not important. Or why do I need to learn to dine? And while I would say 75% of the lesson is actually laying the tables, at Pristine, our mantra is going beyond laying the tables. There's so much more you learn in table etiquette. It's the ability to communicate.
Yes.
The ability to share. You have to share the portions of food, the way you present yourself at the tables.
Yes.
The conversations that are acceptable and are
At
not
the
acceptable.
table.
So there's a huge social aspect in that table etiquette, because I call it the go-to for everybody. So you're not just laying the table, you're not just using your silverware, but you learn so much more. And one of the reasons we start at ages 8 years old and up is it is known, studies have shown that between ages 6 to 10, those are the concrete years.
Yes.
Where
they're like a sponge.
exactly.
Right.
And then they understand right from wrong. They value friendships more and they have their personalities, and all these social skills are beginning to develop, and they're now mocking the things that they see. So between 6 and 10, I went dead into 8. I know some children are more mature than others or more ahead than others, but I find that based on the workshops that we've previously done, 8 years old is the ideal age where we can start to nurture them.
Grooming them essentially for adult life. When I think about etiquette, mannerisms, like you rightfully said, it begins at the table. Now, what do you think about the role that the family has been playing over the years? Do you think that we are effectively and efficiently grooming our kids for the world?
To be honest, I think at home we are. In my home, as I said, it was mandatory. I knew no other way. But I find that it's so important to go out and interact with others because there's some rules that only work at home.
Right.
And it doesn't work outside. Because, for example, I'm happy to share the bread with you across the table if you're my sister or
Right.
you're my mom. But if you're a total stranger, but we have a common goal and we're having dinner for a particular reason, I don't really think I want to share my bread with you.
Right.
It changes. So while I do think at home parents are doing a good job, I do think that it's essential to get kids out there, to have them interact and experience different circumstances and situations.
And these are of course, the interactions afforded by the Pristine School of Etiquette, I suppose.
Yes, in we have about 10 different workshops that we offer now.
So what's on the horizon? What's next for Pristine? I know you mentioned these different workshops. I know Sunday is specifically for table etiquette, but what else can we expect?
We also have a Girl Talk series that's coming up. That comes in
Nice.
3 series.
Okay.
It's a very sensitive topic, but we are breaking the stigma, period. That's
What
our
is that
tagline.
topic, if you don't mind saying?
In the first series, we're talking about stages of puberty and menstrual cycle. Everyone is presented with a Pristine pack, which I also have for you, that I'll present to you today.
Yay!
And in this pack, it includes everything a girl needs. And as I said, 8 years to life. You being a girl, I present
Thank you
it to
so
you.
much. Thank you. I appreciate it. So what's in here?
In that is your go-to of everything, as I mentioned. There's everything that explains tracking, everything that's personal to a girl that we seem to have this stigma on, like you and I were talking about before.
Yes.
People just don't want to talk about things, and it's just so normal and it's just so natural.
It's a part of who we are.
Exactly.
But why do you think that is? Like, why do you think puberty and all of these things are still such a hush-hush topic? Why are we not open about puberty, which leads into sexuality and all that type of stuff?
I think it's just the society that we've lived in. We've become so content with it being that way, so we left it that way. I don't think there's any other reason, and that's why I'm breaking the cycle.
Well, girl, you are doing a good job.
We're going to
I like
have
it.
this conversation. So the Girl Talk first series, as I said, is all about puberty and your menstrual cycle. The second one is about self-awareness and self-confidence.
Right.
And the third one, we go in depth with walking gracefully, public speaking, and everything along those lines to mold and nurture our girls. But fear not, it's not only for girls. We also have a chivalry program for the boys.
Nice.
So we're doing this across the board. So we're going to be molding more young men to be the breadwinner, to remember their responsibility in society, whether it be to open the door for a lady, to respect themselves, most importantly, and then respect the people around them. We'll also go into public speaking. I have the corporate workshops also. There's a college-bound workshop, again, leaving 24 square miles
Yes.
to go into the big
world.
world.
Yes.
I was totally lost for college.
Yes.
I mean, when I said totally lost, some simple acronyms from, I remember my friend said, you know you can't drink and drive because you will get a DUI. And I go, what's a DUI? I
Right.
couldn't pull out my phone quick enough to Google a DUI. And they go, driving under the influence. And I'm like, what's wrong with that?
Right?
We do that.
All the time.
I know friends that do that. You just look at the side of the road and you drive.
Right. But it
So-
really boils back to what you said initially, that as similar as we are, we share different cultures. And when you think about the BVI, it's such a diverse community,
Exactly.
a diverse makeup, but our backgrounds are different. And so it's really important that we tap into other people's culture and have a wider understanding of what etiquette means, not just in the BVI, but beyond.
Exactly, and most importantly, the respect for others. Every time someone asks me, what is your definition of etiquette? And I always reiterate to them, it's the ability to carry yourself in a way that's respectable and understanding to the person next to you.
Yes.
It's not about
I love
being
that.
bougie.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
not about feeling like you're better than anyone else. It's just that you conduct yourself in a way that it respects the people around you. And to have that emotional intelligence just makes you a better person.
Girl, I am with you 110%. I know we're out of time, but just tell the viewers how they can get in contact with you, whether, they want to have their children be a part of these activities. One thing I wanted to ask you that we didn't get to, by the way, is for these children, like, how are you pricing it? Like, do they pay individually? Does the school step in? How do you deal with that aspect of it?
At the moment, we've been doing a number of private workshops. And these is persons that have reached out to us to do a workshop on particular topics. And we alter the topics based on their needs sometimes. And they're self-paid by the parents. But it is our wish to get this in the school because I think it's
that's
important.
really necessary.
I do think it's important that every single child in the BVI is equipped with these skills because they're free. They're easy and it's going to last for a lifetime. It doesn't expire. It doesn't get too small. It's never too big.
Right.
It's a skill that we would have forever. So easy to reach. Thanks to CCT, our phone number is 441-PSOE, which stands for Pristine School of Etiquette.
Okay, CCT, I see you.
You can find us on the internet, www.pristinesoe.com, and follow us on Facebook, Pristine School of Etiquette and Protocol.
Miss Lawrence, it has been a pleasure sitting and talking with you, and we want to continue to wish you all the best on this endeavor.
Thank you so much,
You're
Javon.
welcome. I am Javon Wilson, and it has been an honor to bring you this exclusive.
Father Jesus, that line you long like church service.
Alright, do enjoy the rest of the day. Next customer line, please. Wait, hold on a second.
Yes, Sonny boy, come, yes,
Good
son.
morning.
Good morning, Sonny boy. Hold on there. You must have cut fun topic.
It's okay. I'll take care of it.
What? No man, forget ya.
How may I assist you?
Yes.
You want top of power?
You want top of power?
Join the prepaid party with CCT and enjoy more affordable data plans, more top-up promotions, more savings with hero bundles, and more value for your money each and every Tuesday with Top Up Turn Up Tuesday. Visit a CCT store today or anywhere CCT Top Up is sold and top up your phone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You want top of power?